See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Anything you want to talk about in the news tonight? Less about me, more about the news, and anything you want to say. We don't have to agree, by the way. You can argue with me, challenge me on anything in the news. If I've made fun of someone, I might not agree with you, but if I'm wrong, I will apologise. I can't ever remember being wrong. Yes, hello.
Alex, it's Anthony from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, my goodness. How lovely. Now, how's it going in Saudi? How many hands have you chopped off today for people who are pilfering?
I'm back in England. I'm back home. Remember, I wrote to you when you were in prison.
I don't remember. I mean, I won't lie to you, but if you tell me what you wrote about, I'm sure I will remember it.
We wrote for years when you were in Fossey and before that, and I want to apologise to you because I said, you told me that you were having an assessment, and I said, just tell them what they need to know, and you said you can't. And I applaud you. I really do.
I do remember. Remind me of your name again. I missed it because I think I overtalked you. Anthony. I know exactly who you are, Anthony. Thank you so much. Yes, it's all a game, and what you realise is nobody's telling the truth in anything, and the truth won't get you very far. So when you're caught up in the vortex, maybe nobody watching, maybe some people have been to prison, but most people will have been involved with things like social services or doctors or whatever, and we all have to tell them what you have to tell them to get on, because they just are compulsive liars. You can't trust these people.
I know. Andrew Bridgen, he was speaking with me, and bless him, he must be under a lot of stress. All I can say is that.
Well, I'm seeing him tomorrow night for dinner, I can tell you that, and we're going to film a little lovely thing. So hopefully, we might even do it tomorrow. It will be very, very soon, but we're having dinner regardless, and that's more important, friendship than broadcasting. So, Anthony, I do remember, you've had such an awful treatment. I mean, if we could just very briefly summarise, you have been literally tortured by your own state, haven't you?
Yes, I'm missing half my teeth. They were taken from me when I was in Saudi Arabia because I refused to convert to Islam. I'm seeing a neurologist because of the damage that was done while I was there. I was in Saudi Arabia for 9.5 years. I'm a former teacher and Metropolitan Police interpreter, 35 years. And I was overheard speaking various languages, including Hebrew, and they said, "You're not British." My father is Jamaican American, my mother is English, and I was told, "You're not British." I lost my job, and so for 9.5 years I was in Saudi Arabia with no work, unemployed, and couldn't leave. Why? Because I told the British ambassador, Simon Collis, I said, "You're a traitor. You've converted to Islam publicly. You've received a lot of money from Riyadh," and they put me on a blacklist, so I couldn't leave the country.
And I know you're now incapacitated, you're disabled, proving I do know exactly who you are, and you've got virtually no help whatsoever from anyone anywhere, have you?
No, I don't get anything. Why? Because I keep hitting a ceiling, like you've said. I hit a ceiling, and I'm told by Sandhurst and the British Defence, what do they call it, MOD,
yes.
Ministry of Defence, they said, "We know about you, we're appalled of what you're going through, but you're dealing with small fry. We are small fry."
When you said you lost half your teeth before you left Saudi, do you mean they literally pulled them out of your gob?
Yes. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I was tortured for 9 hours.
And they get a pair of pliers and they just keep pulling until they're gone?
It was pretend. They basically didn't give me a proper anaesthetic.
Well, I'm going to say, it doesn't sound pretend if half your back your teeth are missing, love. That sounds very real.
No. And you know what's his face? The Prime Minister before, the Danish chappie. What's his name? Blonde. John, what's his name?
I don't know who John Major you're talking about. I don't know which...
No, British Prime Minister.
Well, we've had David Cameron, we've had Boris Johnson,
Boris Johnson.
Yes.
That's it. The day I was in Saudi Arabia, 80 miles from the Yemen border in the south, and 2 Englishmen came to the hotel. I heard a Midland accent, and I called, "Hello, fellow Englishmen." And they came over to me, shook my hand, and I said, "Oh, you're police, aren't you?" And one of them said, "We're higher than that." They were MI6. One of them had a torch, said, "Sit down, I want to look at something." Opened about it.
I don't know how we keep the faith, and I don't want to get too deep so early on in the phone in, but it is worrying, isn't it, the level that the corruption goes to when you are on the radar of the establishment. As we know, I'm now MAPA 2 level 3, which is terrorism level monitoring. Yes. You will be glad to know, since our last conversation, Anthony, that I have filed my pre-action letter, which is about 8 pages long, to Mahood, Mishima, Shamima, Shemima Mahood, whatever her name is, the Lord Chancellor woman. And she's already accepted that it has landed in her inbox, so it's there. Probation phoned me today and said, oh no, we can't accept it by email or by text. So I said, no, I accept it in the post. So I've got the recorded post. So we've done everything we can. Listen, they're going to squirm and they're going to move. And we have got, 1,000 points where they've been in breach of human rights. But as you prove, all they do is bury their head in their sands. And then when it gets to somebody important, they've already gone, as is the case with Fossway, where the boss that fucked me over has already left last week.
Bless them. I've got some good news very, very quickly, because I don't want to hog all.
Yes, please.
Very, very quickly, when you see Andrew Bridgen tomorrow, say hello to him from me, because he knows me, I've met him.
Yes.
Say hello and say that lawyers in London have heard about me. They're having a meeting. I've spoken with one of the lawyers. They're having a meeting next week to see whether to give me a pro bono or not.
Okay, and that means working for free, for those who don't know. So to get a lawyer to work for free is very, very difficult, because they're mostly self-congratulating and self-honorists. Anthony, great to talk to you. I love you. And thank you for ringing in. And I'm so sorry what you've been through. We haven't even touched the sides, but it is nothing short of horrific. And you're a very brave man, sir.
Take care.
Love you. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I bet you weren't expecting that as the second call in. A man from Saudi Arabia who had his teeth pulled out with pliers. Bye. The joy of the Voice of Reason Live. We have no producer. You get straight through. Hello, who's calling?